Alright, this is going to be the start for Musou May. Now, I don't have any particular formula or any way that I'm doing this. Yesterday, by the time you guys see this, I did about a 2-hour stream. I did a little Honkai Impact and Assault Spy, but for the most part, I was testing all the PC ports of the Musou games that I have to get ready for this event. And everything seems to be working fine for the most part. The only thing that's not working well is Spirit of Sanada. It is well known that that is a very bad port. It seems like the only reason I can play it at all is because, you know, the port came out like 4 years ago, and I have relatively recent parts in my computer. When I get my check and I upgrade, maybe it will work perfectly, but a lot of people have said you need a really beefy computer to run it, and I have basically a slightly above mid-range computer. So today, we're going to start with something more simple. You know, this game has its problems, which I'll be getting into, but it turns on and it works, so that's something. Let's just do an infinite mode run today, if it does not give me the anchors. If it gives me the anchors, then I'm going to play story mode. Destroy all pots. Not ideal, but whatever. Alright, let's take him out. Get some air combos going. I don't remember who has their weapons and who doesn't. I haven't played this in so long. Only Zhao Yun has his. It's really a shame. I like this mode, I just don't like how slow-paced it is. Like, it's fun to play, it's just that there's not enough peons to make this mode flow smoothly. It's kind of funny because it has a timer. The only reason you ever have problems with the timer is because it just takes so long to complete the objectives. I was talking about this on the stream, but the timer feels kind of pointless because your progress is directly gated by how few peons and officers spawn. The peons only spawn in like groups of maybe 30 to 50 if you're lucky. You also can't kite them very far. Same thing goes for officers as well. They only spawn in designated points. So, even though the timer is meant to keep you moving forward, you're always going to be moving forward anyway, just because of how slow-paced this mode is. You know, it's a shame. I remember when this came out on PC, came out internationally. As you know, I played the Switch version for a couple months to get all the guides out ahead of time. They put out that survey, and I thought that maybe, you know, they would actually listen to that feedback and put out at least one more patch, but I have checked, I've done some detective work, I've checked the Steam database for this, and there's been no sign of anything going on with it at all, which is kind of weird. You know, it's one thing adding all the Spirit of Sanada characters and stuff is a little bit too much for a free update, but you think that they would at least fix some of the minor things that kind of make this mode not as fun as it should be. My suggestion would be to just, like, double the peon spawns for one thing, and then make the officers spawn more often. Allow them to kite you. That would make this mode so much more exciting. still like playing this game though. I think this is, in terms of like player expression, you know, kind of how there's fighting games that are really great for player expression, like Marvel and Dragon Ball Fighters, and games that have like really expansive combo systems that are free form. Like, if I had to choose a game like that for Musou, I think this would be one of the top ones, besides something like Vasarna. Being able to do cool stuff like that is why I keep this game installed. I wish they would have made this mode a little bit more exciting. I think I would definitely play it more often. Alright, the useless NPC is on his last legs, so I gotta speed this up, because having an NPC that stares off into space is always engaging gameplay, right? I feel like they just put him in here just to be annoying. He serves like no purpose whatsoever. Like, people totally like just babysitting useless AI. Must be like some secret law that makes game developers put stuff like that in games. I think the next game I'm going to play is going to be Fate Extella Link, and that game has its fair share of escort missions too, but the AI actually can take out officers, which is kind of unheard of in modern Koei games. Usually they can just weaken them at best, or they can do the objectives that they're specifically programmed to do, but other than that, they're basically useless. But we'll talk more about that game on the next video. That'll be the next tomorrow's Musou May video. Right, now I have no idea where this last pot is. I'm going to assume it's probably over there where the dumb NPC is. There's also a lot of luck in terms of how fast you can do these two, because sometimes it'll give you a fast objective on one of the biggest maps, which just means that the spawn points are going to be really spread out. It must be over there in the corner. I like how he was struggling. There weren't even any named or even generic officers over there. Actually only named officers spawning here, but there were no officers whatsoever, and somehow he could not handle that. I'm going to assume it's over here in the corner. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, just boring stuff like this. I wish they would make this mode just flow better overall. Less gimmicky stuff, more officers would go such a long way. Alright, let's get out of here. Before the idiot dies. I guess maybe the game didn't sell well enough and they feel like they can't support it anymore, but I don't really think hiring somebody to, you know, not work on whatever next-gen projects they're obviously working on to make this mode spawn more peons and remove all the gimmicky stuff like the pots and the anchors. I don't think it would cost that much money to do it. It's a shame that it's not being done. The only thing I can assume is that all the things that we put in those surveys is probably going to be used for future titles. Really doesn't seem like they're going to support this game anymore. It's kind of funny, like, this game had such a better critical reception than Dynasty Warriors 9, and this game basically got no support. Dynasty Warriors 9 was critically maligned by everybody, both professional and, you know, just regular people and content creators that don't even play Musou games, and they supported that game for like a year and a half, and this is not getting anywhere near as much support. It's a shame, really. I can only hope that things will change. Maybe they'll realize that, you know, with everything going on right now, it's kind of hard to have a constant pipeline of things coming out at this time. So maybe they'll come back and they'll fix infinite mode and they'll make it flow kind of more like the arcade kind of thing it's supposed to be. But just due to the small amount of peon spawns and all the gimmicky objectives, it kind of doesn't really ever get to that point. And you think about how an arcade game, you know, they have a timer there because they're trying to always move you forward to the next objective, because it's supposed to be making money constantly. You're not really supposed to have one person on there for a significant period of time. The timer is also there to end the game if someone leaves, you know, the parents come to pick them up or something. This game has nothing of the sort. The timer is just kind of there to annoy you, and a lot of times you can't really do things much faster than you already are, simply because you can't kite enemies and there aren't enough peon spawns. Basically, the objective that they have, a lot of them, the counts are too high. I think that they could even just maybe get away with having the counts of some of these objectives, like another destroy all pots on the biggest map. Yeah, it's definitely a good a good example right there. That's the largest map in the game, so if you have to do something like that or destroy the anchors, it's going to take you at least 15 minutes, if not more, which is incredibly boring. I think just removing some of these things in general will go a long way. But like I said, it doesn't seem like we're getting any more support for this game, so maybe I'll ask around. Maybe someone can make some kind of mod for this or something on PC. But that's going to conclude day one of Musou May. I am trying to raise a little bit of extra funds here. If people want to part with it, they can. If you want something requested of me in terms of a video, I will see what I can do. My links are in the description. I have about 7 or 8 games ready to go. I was going to do Musou Stars, but I decided to not do that simply because that's just not really a lot of positive things to say about that game. I don't think people are particularly interested in watching it being played again. So certain games will not be showing up. I'm also dealing with not really having a whole lot of storage space right now. Being a content creator who games on SSDs for better performance and stuff, it can be difficult sometimes. The games are getting bigger and bigger. I had my buddy Mike donated a copy of Injustice 2 to me, and I was shocked when it was like 50 gigs. So I'm trying to free up as much space as I can to keep this going for at least a week. Right now it should be fine, including the 2 Pasari games I have on PS4. So I hope you guys will like the lineup, and I'll see you guys for Musou May Day 2 tomorrow. Peace.